Hi guys, I hope that you're enjoying my little Halloween series here in Jen's Haunted Home. I am having so much fun sharing these stories with you guys. I hope that you like them, you know, whether you're a believer or a non-believer. It's all real life accounts of things that have happened to us in our old home over the years. So today I want to share with you some stories that happened to other people who were in our house. Of course we have a huge Halloween party every year. Come on, we have like the perfect house for a Halloween party. And it's a great time. We started it the very first year that we moved in. I'm a big fan of Halloween, so I was so excited to kick off our first Halloween party. So every year we have a lot of people spend the night. And this one particular year, I had some friends on the third floor. Now, let me tell you, I don't know what it is about the third floor, but it completely creeps me out. It is the one place that I just cannot be after dark. A few different things happened on the third floor that I guess make me feel very uneasy. One of the things was in my first story I shared with you guys how when we were touring the house, the stone in my mom's ring just flew across the room right off of her hand and hit the wall. And that happened on the third floor. Also at night, the children's playroom, ironically, was on the third floor. And sometimes the toys would just go off in the middle of the night. You would hear like Elmo singing, or you would just hear things moving around. And that just gives me the willies. Like toys going off in the middle of the night. And I would just listen to it all night and have a sleepless night because there was no way in the world that I was going up there to turn anything off. The couple of times that I did have to go up for one reason or another in the middle of the night, I practically fell down the stairs just trying to get to safety. Just, you know, I would run up and run down so quickly. There were a couple of times where I actually fell because I was just trying to get out of there. A woman who I had met after we moved in was a psychic medium of sorts, and she came to the open house and she shared with me that when she went up to the third floor she felt this really heavy sadness, and she wouldn't tell me like what she saw because she said it would have been too disturbing and upsetting to me, but she told me that it had to do with a child and that it was very sad and very horrible. I did a ton of research. I have newspaper articles on the house. I can't find anything relevant to anything happening badly to a child. I do know that, you know, back then sometimes children didn't make it, and there was someone in the family who had a child who, you know, died at birth or shortly thereafter. And I know that, again, through newspaper articles, because back then everything was a story. If there was a prominent family in town, whatever was going on, there was an article about it. So they brought the baby's body back to this house because this was the house that they had grown up in. And, you know, they kept it there for a few days until they were able to have a proper burial here in our local cemetery. Other than that, I can't find anything disturbing about, you know, things that have happened to a child in this house. Another story, going back to the Halloween party and having guests over. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked there. So we had some guests over, and in the morning they said, we heard a baby crying all night. Like we couldn't even sleep. This baby was crying all night. It must be your cat. Is she locked up in a closet or something? We were looking for your cat because shortly prior to that I did have a cat. Sorry. There's like noises going on behind me. Something just fell. I don't know what that was. But anyway, I did have a cat, and she passed away several months prior to that. So it certainly was not my cat, and I told them I don't have a cat anymore. And they were just completely freaked out because they said they figured it was either a baby crying or like a cat crying all night long, but they just made the assumption that it was my cat, and there was no cat in the house. The other story that we have about the third floor is we actually had a company come in, you know, like one of those ghost hunters of our town. It was like a paranormal investigation group, and they had come in and they wanted to investigate our house for quite a long time. They were really excited to investigate. So when the paranormal investigators came into our house, they actually recorded some very disturbing things on the 3rd floor. And again, this was like in the playroom area. You could hear voices, you could hear them rather clearly, and that just really creeps me out. I do not like hearing recorded voices, the EVPs of what spirits are saying. So again, it was very late at night. There were no neighbors speaking outside. There were no windows open to catch other voices. It's just what they found within our home. And at first it was like a man and a woman's voice, and they were saying like, what are they doing here? Why are they here? And then you hear somebody say, shut the door, get them out, stuff like that. And this is when the paranormal investigators were all on the 3rd floor investigating. And then you hear a very angry man's voice saying, shut the F, I'm not going to say the word, but shut the F word window. And the window wasn't open anyway, but I don't know what that was about. But anyway, they did capture all of these really horrible voices, and that really bothered me. I never had another investigation ever done of the house because I just don't like that. Like, I don't want to feel that way about my home. I want to feel safe in my home, and I want to feel comfortable. So we never did that again. I do have everything that they captured. They did have some photographs of orbs. You know, they had some kind of like streaky things going, you know, through the ceiling area, like up high. It looks kind of just like motion of some kind of a light. And then the voices. And yeah, that was all on the 3rd floor of our house. And my teenage daughter, Emily, recently moved up there and claimed it for her own. That's her bedroom now, and I really thought it was never ever going to work for her. But she's not frightened at all. She's very comfortable. She sleeps up there alone every single night. She has the whole 3rd floor to herself. My husband's office is up there. He's never had any stories or complaints. And she has her own bathroom. So what's better than that for a teenage girl, right? But those are the stories that I have that have happened on the 3rd floor of our old Victorian haunted home. Thank you guys for watching. Please share with me down below any stories that you may have. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me at Jen's Happy Home on Instagram. I'll see you next time. Bye.